Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Anna. How are you today?
Fine, thanks. And you?
I'm doing great. Thank you for asking. Thank you. Well, thank you
Okay.
for joining because you are the first one today.
Yes.
So tell me,
Yes, sorry?
how do you feel about your
I
English
feel,
classes?
yes, I feel good. I was on the pre-intermediate, but in my interview, the person that interviewed me, is, he told me that I should to stay on intermediate number 2. And for that, I asked to Salma for the course. And now and today, Salma said me that I need to in this class. I need to stay in this class.
Okay, that's something
Mm,
great.
okay.
Well, let me see. Anthony is coming. Well, as you can
Okay.
see here, this is intermediate one. So
Yes.
maybe
Yes,
it
no
will be
problem.
it will be interesting for you, well, to make a
Yes.
review, because I consider this level it's most a review of different topics. So
Yes.
it will be nice. Let's
Okay. Thank
see.
you.
You're welcome. Hello,
Thank
Anthony.
you.
How are you today? Hello. Oh, Anthony, I don't know why, but I can't hear you. Okay. Well, let's start with our class. Thank you for coming on time, Anna and Anthony. Thank you for joining. Well, Anthony, nice to have you here in our class one more time. And Anna, welcome to the class. Okay, this is your first class, so thank you for joining and thank you for
Thank you.
being here. Okay,
Thank you.
as you can see, my name is Christian. I'm going to help you to understand and practice this level. So I hope I can help you as much as possible. Okay,
Okay. Thank you.
great. Okay, in this opportunity, we have a kind of a long topic. Okay, so I would like to share the following with you. Let me see.
Hello?
Hi, Anthony. I can hear you now.
Hi, how are you? Chris
Hello, teacher.
is
Hi.
back.
Can you
I
hear
don't know.
us?
Yes, I'm so sorry.
Okay.
I don't know what
Don't worry.
happened, but I left the class like some seconds.
Yes.
But now let me see. Okay, so I don't have any problem with the computer. We can continue. Okay, very good. Today, as you can see, to start the class, we have different cartoon characters. Today, to start the class, I would like to ask you, do you like cartoons? Anthony, do you like cartoons?
Yes, I like it.
That's nice. What about you, Anna? Do you like cartoons?
Yes, I do. I
Pretty
like it too
good.
much. Too much.
What's your favorite cartoon?
In my case, Dragon Ball.
Dragon Ball, that's a good one.
Oh, yeah. Oh, in my case, mm, I love many, many cartoon. The Simpsons as well.
Oh, The Simpsons, it's another great cartoon. Let me tell you that,
Yes.
well, I like, as you mentioned, I like many cartoons. So I couldn't say I have a favorite one. But the ones you mentioned are really good. Now, I would like to ask you something else. Anthony, how often do you watch Dragon Ball, for example?
Oof. Actually, I don't watch Dragon Ball anymore, but when I was a kid, I like every day.
Okay, that's something great. Well, I'm really sorry because you can't watch Dragon Ball nowadays anymore. But at least in the past, you had the opportunity to watch it. Who was your favorite character? Was it Goku, Gohan, Piccolo? Who was your favorite character?
Gohan was my favorite character.
Okay, nice. That's something really, really interesting. Okay, and well, what about you, Anna? Do you watch, how often do you watch The Simpsons now in the present?
I send them, I think every week, I think.
Okay,
And I like Homer because even true, he's a little, sorry for the word, stupid. I don't know
okay,
say the other way. And he has a lot of kindness,
okay. Well,
I
that's a good
think.
reason. That's a good reason. Maybe to be less offensive, less he is an intelligence, right? To be less offensive with
Yes.
Homer. But that's
Yes.
great. Okay, so you watch
Yes.
this cartoon every week, and tell me, Anna, when what was the first time you watched The Simpsons? The first time.
Oh, wow. When I have kid, when I was kid, sorry.
Oh, when you were a kid.
Yes, many years
Okay,
ago.
so yeah, I imagine so many years ago when we were little kids. That's good. Okay, that's pretty good to hear about those cartoons that maybe you watched many years ago. As Anthony mentioned, he watched Dragon Ball when he was a kid. Maybe I remember I watched Dragon Ball when I was 7 years old. So imagine it was a long time ago. So I guess it was the same for Anna, right? The first time she watched The Simpsons, it was a long time ago. It was also for me the same situation, right? I watched that cartoon when I was 10 years old, so a lot of years ago. Well, everybody, as you see in this opportunity, we are talking about interesting cartoons that we watched when we were kids. Today, because, well, in this opportunity, guys, we are not kids anymore, but we have the opportunity to remember the past, okay? Our beautiful memories in the past. So today, everybody, we are talking about a simple past, okay? Today's topic, it's about the simple past. Maybe you already know about this. At least, Anthony, we talked a little bit about this topic, so we will have the opportunity to make a review of this class. Now, let's check, first of all, the use of the simple past. Right now, I will ask Anthony to read that paragraph. We use
Okay. We use simple past to talk about finished actions in past.
great, okay? So we talk about, look at this is very important. We talk about finish actions in past, and that's it. It's not a big deal. We have to express things that happen in the past and they already finished, okay? In simple words, that's the use of simple past. Also, you can see the use of simple past in this example. I went there last week. So I am not, for example, I went to, I don't know, I went to university last week, for example. Right now, I am not at university. Today in the morning, I didn't go to university. So I went to university last week. It's something that already finished, okay? This is, everybody, the use or the main use of simple past. Right now, I would like to ask you, reading the next example. Please, in this opportunity, Anna, can you help me reading the example?
I went there last week, this
Oh,
example.
the first example.
Sorry.
Yes.
I watched the Hunger Games yesterday.
Great, okay. That's a great movie, by the way. Okay, I watched the Hunger Games yesterday. As you can see here, everybody, we use verbs in past, okay? And we sometimes use a time expression. Remember, finished actions. Yesterday already finished. Right now, I am not watching the Hunger Games. And in the morning or every day, I don't watch the Hunger Games. So I did it yesterday. That's why we are talking about finish actions in past. Okay, let's check together the structure of simple past in affirmative form. In affirmative, we have only three parts. First, the subject, then the verb in past, and after that, we have the complement, okay? This structure is similar to simple present. In simple present, we use the subject, verb in base form, and the complement. So we also use only three parts. The main difference between simple present and simple past in structure is that instead of using verbs in base form, in simple past, we have to use the verbs in past. Before we continue, do you know some verbs in past, Anna and Anthony?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, pretty good. Okay, so that's why, well, we will use them, so continue practicing the verbs in past, everybody. Remember, this is an example in affirmative form. Talking about affirmative, everybody, we also have the negative form. Remember that we have affirmative, now we have negative. Now, can you help me reading the example, Anthony?
We didn't make dinner last night.
Well done, okay? We didn't make dinner. Look at the message, okay? In negative sentences, the verb should be in base form, okay? When we have a negative sentence in simple past, we never use the verbs in past. We only use verbs in past in affirmative, not in negative. Look at the structure. In the structure, we have the subject, did not, or the contraction didn't, then the verb in base form, and finally, we use the complement, okay? This is the structure we have to use. As you see, when we use did, or in negative didn't, we don't have to use the verbs in past. Look at the first example. Subject, verb in past, complement. We don't have any auxiliary. But in this opportunity, guys, we are using the auxiliary did in negative, of course, didn't or did not. That's why we have to change, or I could say that we need to use the verbs in base form in negative. Is that clear for you guys?
Yes, it's clear.
Yes, it is clear. So
Very
I
good.
have a question, teacher.
Yeah.
In affirmative sentences, can I say I did watch the movie, for example, or no? I
Yes.
used usually did, but the verb in present, it's correct or no?
Yes, it's possible, but it is, well, we won't see this part, at least for today, because that's a different thing. But we can use the auxiliary did and then the verb in present in affirmative when we want to emphasize on the activity, okay? For
Thank you.
example,
Yeah.
if someone tell you, hey, you didn't take a shower today. Yes, I did take a shower. So to
Okay.
emphasize, I did an action, right?
Okay, thank you.
So you're welcome. That was a good question, by the way. As I told you, we are not going to study at least that point on this class because that is another topic, right? But it is also important. That's why I mention it. Well, let's move on right now to another important part of the simple past. And this is the yes, no questions. Remember, yes, no questions, we have to possible answers. Yes, no. No more. Okay, let's see. Please, Anna, read the question.
Did he travel to Japan last vacations?
Nice job. Now, question for Anna. What is the answer for that question in affirmative?
Yes, I did.
Oh, remember
Or
that the
yes.
auxiliary is
Ah,
yes.
sorry.
Sorry, he.
He. Yes, he did.
Uh-huh.
Or yes, he traveled to Japan the last vacations.
Okay, yes, he did. And he traveled, yes, he traveled to Japan last vacations. Nice job.
Yes.
Okay, those are great answers in affirmative. Now, Anthony, what are the possible answers in negative? Did he travel to Japan last vacations?
No, he doesn't.
Remember,
No, he
it's
didn't.
simple
He
past.
didn't.
Ah, very good.
Didn't.
No, he didn't. Or?
No, he didn't travel to Japan last vacations.
Very good. He didn't travel to Japan. Oops, Japan last vacations. Okay, well done. Thank you guys because you gave me great answers for this question. As you remember, we have short answers and long answers, and you answered very well in both forms, in short and in long answers. Well done. Remember, the structure is always like this: did plus the subject, verb in base form. Anytime we use the auxiliary did in questions and negative, the verb is always in base form, okay? So remember that part. Verbs in past only in affirmative. Then in questions and negative, verbs in base form. And of course, we use the auxiliary. Give me a second. Okay, let's move on to our next part. After the yes, well, the affirmative, negative, and yes, no questions, we have the WH questions. Remember, WH questions always ask for extra information about something, okay? For example, Anthony, can you read the question?
Yes. When did he get home? Get home?
Nice. When did he get home? Now, my question for both of you is, what is the use of when?
In time questions?
Very good. Time expressions. We use when to talk about time expressions, of course. So as you see, maybe the answer, it should be a complete sentence, but because we will only practice time expressions now. So maybe we can answer yesterday, right? We can practice yesterday. We can practice last week. Oops, give me a second. We can also say, for example, 2 years ago. I don't know, okay, 2 years ago. So as you see, we have different time expressions that we can use, of course, in this opportunity. We are talking about simple past. That's why our time expressions refers to the past, okay? As you remember, this is the structure for WH questions. Hello, Alexander. Welcome to the class.
Hello, thank you.
You're welcome. How are you today?
I'm very well. You?
Okay. I'm doing great. Thank you for asking. Well,
Okay.
as you can see, my name is Christian. I am going to help you in this level. Tell me, Alexander, have you ever studied the simple past?
Yes, I have.
Okay, so it will be easy for, well, I can see that for Anna and Anthony, it has been really easy. So it will also be easy for you. That's fine.
Okay, I hope.
Okay, that's nice, Alex. Well, as you can see, guys, this is about the WH questions. Remember, as I said a minute ago, WH questions always ask for more information. In this case, as I told you, when did he get home? We refer to time expressions, right? So that's why maybe the answer could be he got home yesterday, he got home last week, or he got home 2 years ago. There are specific time expressions that we can use in this tense, in simple past. For example, can you help me reading some expressions? Give me a second. Can you help me reading some time expressions, Alexander?
Yeah. The first car, maybe one the day before yesterday.
Yes, it could be.
Okay, the day before yesterday, today, last
Okay.
week, last month, last year, last Tuesday. I guess it's complete. Last week, today or not?
Oh, yes. Today,
Okay.
well, in this case, today refers to the present, right? So that's why it has an arrow pointing
Okay.
out bad words. So
Okay.
right now, avoid reading today if you want.
Okay.
Continue with number 4.
Number 4, 2 days, 2 weeks, 2 months, 2 years ago.
Great. Okay. As you can see over here, we have different time expressions that are possible in simple past. The first one, the day before yesterday. So, well, this is really long. You know that in Spanish, we have the day before yesterday, but it's really short. In this case, antier is shorter than the day before yesterday, right? After that, we have yesterday. Remember that all these time expressions refers to past, okay? That's why today is not very common to use it in past, okay? However, it's possible. For example, I can ask you, when did you, I don't know, when did you have breakfast? Breakfast, let me see. When did you have breakfast? So in this case, everybody, maybe you can tell me only in the morning. Now my question is, guys, is right now morning or not?
No.
It's
No.
not the morning. So you know that this time expression, even though it's common to be used in simple present, it's possible in simple past. Also, today in the morning. Today in the morning, okay? We are using today, but we express the specific moment during the day. Today in the morning, okay? Right now, as we said before, we are not, or right now is not the morning. Right now, it's the afternoon, almost evening. That's why we can use today in past, but we have to be very specific in that case. Now, other expressions that are common to be used in simple past are last week, last month, last year, last Tuesday, or any other day of the week, last Wednesday, last Monday. Last Monday, we started English classes. And then we have the next expression, 2 days ago, 2 weeks ago, 2 months ago, or 2 years ago. Remember, this number and these expressions depends on the time that we are referring. But ago, it's the common expression we have for simple past. These are some time expressions we need to use. Now, do you have questions about the time expressions or everything's clear about it?
No.
Okay, everything's
It's
clear.
clear.
Great. Okay, right now we have to move to another important thing of the simple past. We already checked the structures of affirmative, negative questions, yes, no, and WH questions, right? Now, everybody, it's time to check some important rules we have to remember with the verbs in simple past. Remember that when we are talking about the verbs in past, there are two types of verbs. The first one, regular verbs. Second, the irregular verbs. That's why in this opportunity, we will learn the rules, the spelling rules for regular verbs, okay? Right now, to start, I'd like to listen. Anthony, can you help me with number one, Anthony?
Yes. With most of the verbs, we add AD.
Ed, nice, okay? As you can see here, we have some examples. Can you help me reading the examples, Anthony?
Call, call it, want, wanted, work, work it, clean, clean it.
Very good. As you remember, these are spelling rules. That's why right now we are on, the focus is only on ED. Okay, remember right now we use ED for most of the verbs, not for all of them, but for some, for most of the verbs. Okay, we have ED, 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 and ED. Now we have to continue with rule number 2. Can you help me with number 2, Anna?
Yes. For regular verbs that ends in E, add the letter D. Examples like, liked, face, faced.
Well done. Okay, so these are some common verbs that we use in simple past. And as you see, since they already finish in letter E, we won't repeat the letter ED, right? So in that case, we only add letter D, okay? This is a spelling, not pronunciation, right? So we say like, liked, face, faced, okay? Very good. So only we only add letter D for verbs that ends in letter E. Let's see. For verbs, I will write all the rules on the chat, everybody, in case you can't copy most of the information. For verbs ending in E, add D. Okay, there you go. Right now, let's move on to rules 3 and 4. There are many rules, guys. Now, in this rule, we will hear for number 3, let's listen Alexander.
Rule number 3. If a verb ends in a Y, you change it to an I and then add ed. Example, hurry, hurried, study, studied, cry, cried.
Very good. As you see, the common situation for all these verbs is that they finish in letter Y. And, well, they finish in letter Y. So if they finish in letter Y and before letter Y, it's, in this case, a consonant, we change letter Y to letter I, and then we add ED. Okay, let me see. I will write it on the chat and add ED. Okay. Why did I mention the consonant, everybody? Maybe the rule doesn't talk about that or doesn't mention anything about the consonant and letter Y, but we also have some verbs that don't follow this rule. For example, play. In present, we say played. Now, tell me, what do you think is the correct option, or what is the correct form in past? Is it played? Is it, let me see, played? Or we only add letter D, right? So let's see, played. So which one is correct in your opinion? A, B, or C?
A.
A, Alexander, Anna, and Anthony?
Yes, the first one.
A.
Very good. As you can see, okay, we eliminate these options because this is the correct form of the verb play in past. That's why I mentioned the consonant, because these verbs, they have in common the consonant and letter Y. For example, hurry, it has R, Y. Consonant, Y. Then we have study, consonant, Y. And cry, the same as hurry, R and Y. That's why I tell you this, everybody, because when the verbs have a consonant in letter Y, they change into a letter I. And in case they are like this, so they follow the first rule. Instead of using a IED, we only add ED, okay? We don't have any other verb like this. Okay, now pay attention to number 4. I'm gonna read it. If a regular verb ends with vowel, one vowel and one consonant, double the last consonant and then add ed, okay? Look at the rule. It says one vowel, one consonant. One vowel, one consonant. When they finish like this, everybody, we need to double the last consonant and then ed. For example, we have wrap, then in past is wrapped, stop, in past stopped, okay? These are the rules, or some of the rules we have for regular verbs in past. Remember, these are the rules for spelling. I make this this division, everybody, because we have rules for spelling of the regular verbs in past, and also we have rules for pronunciation of the verbs, of the regular verbs in past, okay? And we will check that in a moment, okay? Now, do you have any question about the rules we have studied until now?
No questions.
No, it's clear.
Okay, very good. Let me see, one vowel and one consonant. Double the last consonant. And add ed. Pretty good. Okay, let's move on and check our next part. As I told you, we split up the class or the rules of the regular verbs into 2 parts. First part, spelling rules, okay, of the regular verbs in past. Now we have the pronunciation of the regular verbs in past. As you see, all the regular verbs finish in ed. Some of them maybe we add only d. In some others, we only add the letters ed, or in some others, we need to use IED. This is, or that is about spelling. Now let's check our pronunciation. There are 3 different sounds. The first sound is, we will start from letter D, okay? This pronunciation. So we have D, also we have T, And the last one, it's id. Okay, we will start with letter D because the first one, id, is, I consider is easier than T and D. So this is something we have to remember. This is something we have to remember at the moment of using the simple past. For example, when a verb finish or the final sound of a verb in base form is with any of these letters, in past, the pronunciation of ed will be like letter D. For example, what is the base form of this verb? Anthony?
Go.
Is call. So what is the final sound? Remember sound. What is the final sound? It's a letter
L.
L. Call in base form, right? Now in past, to pronounce this ed, we won't say call it, right? So that's why we are not talking about, or that's why we are talking about the pronunciation of ed, because we don't pronounce ed as ed. We pronounce it as d. Call in present, in past we say cold, the cold. Now, tell me, Anna, what is the base form of the second verb?
Clean.
It's clean. Very good. So we have clean in base form. Now in past, we have to use the sound of letter D. It means cleaned, cleaned, cleaned. As you can see, all the verbs that in base form finish with these letters, in past, the ed will sound like D. And these are the voiced sounds. Before we continue, let's read a short definition of the voiced sounds. Can you help me reading the voiced sounds definition, Alexander?
Yep. The pronunciation of words ending in ed depends on the final consonant sounds. There are three ways to pronounce ed at the end of a word in English. Ed, t, d.
Okay, very good. But help me reading this. Uses the vocal
Okay.
cords.
Uses the vocal cords and they produce a vibration or humming sound in the throat.
The throat. This is
throat.
the throat, everybody. As you know, in your throat, there are vocal cords, the ones we use when we sing. Do you like singing?
No.
No, Alexander. Okay. Anthony and Anna, do you like singing?
Only in karaoke.
Okay, only karaoke, but that's good. What about you, Anna?
Yes, I like it.
Okay, very good. So when we sing, we use the vocal cords. In English, Spanish, so we always use the vocal cords when we sing. Now, also to speak, we need to use the vocal cords. And this is something very common in English, that we use the vocal cords and we follow the vibration of our vocal cords to pronounce some words, like the voiced sounds. All the verbs that finish in letter L, N, R, G, V, S, Z, V, and M creates a vibration, okay? They create a vibration in this part of your throat. If you want to check it, guys, let's check it together, okay? Please, everybody, right now, okay, we will practice the sound of letter M. Everybody, please, right now, repeat after me. Mm.
Mm,
Okay, put your hand on your throat and repeat again.
Mhm.
Mm.
mm,
Now, my question is, do you feel a vibration on your throat? Yes or no?
No.
No, really? No
yes.
vibration? Okay, we
Mm,
have a vibration in this part. So it means, everybody, these letters are voiced sounds because they produce a vibration, okay? All the sounds that produce a vibration in this part of your throat are voiced sounds. And all the voiced sounds, or all the verbs with voiced sounds at the end in base form, we use the letter D in the pronunciation of the verbs in past. Cold, cleaned, offered, damaged, loved, used, amazed, robbed, claimed. Okay, letter D, remember. Now, the next part, everybody, are the verbs with letter T, okay, or with the pronunciation of letter T. Look at this. They are voiceless. It means no vibration, okay? Let's practice with one of this, okay? Let's practice with letter F, okay? Please, everybody, make the sound of letter F.
F.
Remember, the pronunciation, not the
F.
letter. The
Oh,
pronunciation of the letter F. Put your hand on your throat and repeat after me. Do you feel a vibration on your throat? Yes or no?
No.
no, no.
There is no vibration on our throats. So it means, everybody, these are voiceless sounds, okay? All the verbs that finish with a voiceless sound in simple past, the pronunciation will be like a letter T. For example, in present, this verb is help. Now, in past, the pronunciation is help, help. Okay? Okay, very good. So helped. Now we have this verb. In present, the verb is look. Now in past, what is the pronunciation? What do you think, Anna? What is the pronunciation in past of look?
Look.
Looked. Very good. Looked. That's fine. Okay, now sniff. Okay, sniff. What is the pronunciation in past, Anthony?
Sniffed.
Great, sniffed. That's great, Anthony. Great pronunciation. Now, the pronunciation of this verb, well, GH, everybody, maybe it's kind of weird for us, but the pronunciation of GH is similar to the letter F. For example, the pronunciation of this verb in base form is laugh, laugh. Now, what is the pronunciation in past, Alexander?
Laughed.
Excellent, laughed. Okay, that's great. And the same for washed and watched, kissed, danced, and fixed. Okay, they have the same final sound because they are voiceless. And the same for all the verbs that are voiceless, everybody. Then the final sound, as I told you guys, maybe this is, well, this is the easiest one. Id, id. As you see the two letters there, ID, the pronunciation is like id, okay? And that's it. And which verbs apply for this rule, for this pronunciation rule? All the verbs that in base form finish in T and D. And that's it, okay? All the verbs that finish in T and D, in the final sound in base form is T and D, the pronunciation in past will be like id, okay? For example, in present, we have want. What is the pronunciation in past? Hello.
Wanted.
Wanted. That's great. Wanted. Now, the next verb. Pronunciation in present, need. In past,
Needed.
Needed.
needed. Well done, okay? The same for the verb paint, for example, paint. So you know, paint in present, in past, painted,
Here.
okay? And that's the same, everybody. It's the same for all the verbs that its final sounds is T or D, okay? And that's it, everybody. Now, do you have questions about the pronunciation of these verbs? Well, the regular verbs. Any question?
No.
No questions.
No question. Great. Okay. Right now, everybody, I would like to continue with another practice. Okay, just give me a second. Okay, let's practice right now some verbs. As you know, today we only study the use of the regular verbs, but there is also, well, there are also many, give me a second. There are also many irregular verbs. The irregular verbs, everybody, are some verbs that change almost its complete form. For example, go, well, the past of go is went. For example, do, the past of do is did. The past of take is took. For example, the past of have is had. The past of, I don't know, everybody. Well, the past of drink is drank. The past of eat is ate. The past of sing is sang, and so on. There are a lot of verbs, okay? So I would like to practice right now the pronunciation of some verbs, regular and irregular verbs. That's why in this opportunity, we are going to practice pronunciation. Just before we practice, let me share something with you. Just give me a second. Okay, give me a second. Okay, I don't know why I don't find a list of verbs I wanted to share with you that can help you practice the pronunciation of the verbs in both forms, regular and irregular verbs. I'm gonna look for that list and then I will share them with you on the group. Okay, now everybody, let's practice a short reading about last summer. Remember that we are talking about our memories, our finished actions. Okay, so right now, let me see. So right now, everybody, listen to my pronunciation and then I'm going to listen to you. I am Helen. Last summer holidays, I went with my family to Paris. We went by car. There was me, my parents, my brother Tom, and my little sister Susan. We live in Britain, and we are English. We saw the most interesting places in Paris, as the Eiffel Tower, the Louvre Museum, and we made the city tour. I loved it, because Paris is a very beautiful city. On the 5th day, we went to Euro Disney. That was fantastic. We all enjoyed ourselves a lot. We stayed in Euro Disney 4 days. They were the most exciting days I had all my life. We were all very tired because we had to walk a lot to watch everything. and enjoy all the amusements. My sister is only 4 years old and she loved it. I met all the Disney characters and they were very funny. We stayed at a hotel inside Euro Disney. Okay, let's identify together the verbs in past. For example, everybody, we have went. But went is many times. We have also went here. We have the verb to be was. Okay, we also have, let me see, so.
So
We also have, let's see, made. We also have loved. Let's see, went again. We have verb to be was. We have enjoyed. We have stayed. Okay, stayed. We have were. We also have had. Where, one more time. Let's see, my sister is only 4 years old and she loved it. Met is another verb in past. Where, one more time. And the last one is stayed. Okay, as you see, we have different verbs in past, regular and irregular verbs. So right now, everybody, I want to hear you practicing these verbs, okay? I will give you 1 minute and a half to practice pronunciation with microphones off, okay? After a minute and a half practicing, you will participate one by one, okay? Right now, everybody, 1 minute and a half to practice pronunciation. Okay, if you have questions about any word, I'm gonna be here. Okay, everybody, time's up. Right now, let's try to practice these verbs. We will do it in alphabetical order. Since all of you, well, all of your names starts with letter A, we will go with the next letter. So the first person is going to be Alexander. So welcome, Alexander. Are you ready to read the paragraph?
Yeah, ready.
Okay, very good. So I'm gonna listen in to you. You can start in 3, 2, 1, action. Go ahead.
I'm Helen. Last summer holiday, I went with my family to Paris. We went by car. There was me, my parents, my brother Tom, and my little sister Susan. We live in Brighton and we were English. We saw the most interesting places in Paris, as the Eiffel Tower, the Louvre Museum, and we made the city tour. I love it because Paris is a very beautiful city. On the fifth day, we went to Euro Disney. That was fantastic. We all enjoyed ourselves a lot. We stayed in Euro Disney for days. They were the most exciting day I have all my life. We were all very tired because we had to walk a lot to watch everything and enjoy all the amusement. My sister is only 4 years old and she loved it. I met all the Disney characters and they were very funny. We stayed at a hotel inside Euro Disney. You're muted,
Sorry,
teacher.
sorry, my microphone was off. Okay, Alexander, great job, good pronunciation, and also your fluency is going great. So nice job. Okay, congratulations, great reading. Now let's
Okay, thank
continue
you.
with Ana Mendez. Okay, Ana, let's start. Are you ready?
Yes.
Great. Okay, let's start in
Okay.
3, 2, 1, action.
I'm Helen. Last summer holidays, I went my family to Paris. We went by car. There was me, my parents, my brother Tom, and my little sister Susan. We live in Brighton and we are English. We saw the most interesting place in Paris, at the Eiffel Tower, Louvre Museum, and we made a city tour. I loved it because Paris is a very beautiful city. On the fifth day, we went to Euro Disney. That was fantastic. We all enjoyed ourselves a lot. We stayed in Euro Disney for 4 days. They were the most exciting days I had all my life. We were all very tired because we had to walk a lot to watch everything and enjoy almost amusement. My sister is only 4 years old and she loved it. I met all the Disney characters and they were very funny. We stayed at the hotel inside Euro Disney.
Okay, thank you, Anna, for reading. It was also a nice pronunciation and your fluency is also good. Okay, so thank you for it. Now
Thank you.
let's continue with Anthony. Okay, Anthony, tell me, are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Excellent. You can start in 3, 2, 1, action.
I'm Helen. Last summer holidays, I went with my family to Paris. We went by car. There was me, my parents, my brother Tom, and my little sister Susan. We live in Brighton and we are English. We saw the most interesting places in Paris, as the Eiffel Tower, the Louvre Museum, and we made the city tour. I love it because Paris is a very beautiful city. On the fifth day, we went to Euro Disney. That was fantastic. We all enjoyed ourselves a lot. We stayed in Euro Disney for 4 days. They were the most exciting days I had all my life. We were all very tired because we had to walk a lot to watch everything and enjoy all the amusements. My sister is only 4 years old and she loved it. I met all the distant characters and they were very fun. We stayed at a hotel inside Euro Disney.
Nice, okay, great correction, muy buena corrección. Euro Disney, right? The pronunciation of that word is Euro. Similar to the continent, Europe, right? Europe. Well done, thank you, Anthony. That was also a great pronunciation, good fluency of your reading. So, well done, everybody. All of you did an amazing job. Just remember, this word is characters, okay? Characters, not characters, okay? That's not correct. So, characters. It was really nice. We are doing an amazing job. Just before we leave, I want to invite you, everybody, please practice on the platform. Okay, I'm going to switch to Spanish. Voy a hablar español un ratito, solo un minutito nada más. Y es solamente para decirles, guys, empiecen a trabajar en la plataforma. En el caso de Anthony, pues ya que con él estamos desde el día lunes, martes, no recuerdo, pues él ya avanzó un poco con las actividades. Alexander y Ana, ¿ustedes ya tienen sus usuarios para entrar a la plataforma de Speak?
Yo creo que en el grupo del WhatsApp está el link para la plataforma y hasta en la tarde lo pude ver, pero no he ingresado realmente.
¿Pero ya tienen su usuario? ¿Sí?
Sí, de hecho tenemos el usuario que nos dieron el lunes con
Ok.
el otro curso. Yo creo que le pregunté a Sana, pero me dijo que no cambiaba, que era el mismo, tengo
Oh,
entendido.
entonces sí.
Ujú.
Sí,
Sí, sí,
ajá.
entonces, ajá.
Yo igual lo tengo y sí he estado accediendo. Me imagino que solo deben inscribirme en el intermedio,
Aún no
porque
los, ajá.
actualmente me aparece siempre el pre-intermedio.
Solo
Es-
ese te aparece, no te aparece el intermedio todavía.
Ajá, no me han asignado, creo, todavía
Ok,
el curso.
ok,
Ajá. De hecho,
entonces,
ya ahí había avanzado, ya llevaba el 40%, iba con todo.
wow. So, you were very fast. Avanzaste bastante en la primera semana. Entonces, pues yo voy a comunicar eso para que los puedan inscribir si es que aún no los han inscrito a ambos. Y pues solamente invitarlos a eso, ¿verdad? Trabajar lo más que puedan en la plataforma. Anthony ayer le mencionaba que hoy iniciábamos la unidad 2, así que pues avanzar en las actividades de la unidad 2, ¿verdad? Primeramente.
Ok.
Y luego de eso, bueno, tenemos estos días porque, como ya saben, continuamos clases hasta el día lunes. Tienen estos pocos días para que también puedan practicar un poco en la plataforma y avanzar. Al menos Alexander, pues ya según nos mencionó, a él no le ha costado mucho avanzar en algunas actividades. Sin embargo, solo animarlos a eso, ¿ok? A que practiquen y que aún en los días que no hay clases, pues ustedes pueden estar practicando en casa. ¿Ok, guys?
Ok,
Ok,
thank
Okay.
you.
You're welcome. Guys, it was great to be with you in our class. I hope we
Thank you.
can continue on Monday. Okay. Have a good
Yes.
night and bye-bye.
thank you,
Bye.
bye bye.
Bye, good night.
Good night.
Good night.